What's going on, my YouTube friends, and welcome to today's video. Every single option strategy out there has what is called a break-even price. When a strategy is at break-even, it means that the strategy does not have a profit or a loss, meaning the P&L is zero. But how are these break-even prices determined for these respective option strategies? And is there an intuitive way that we can understand the break-even price of any option position? In this video, we will explore the break-even prices of various popular option strategies, and more importantly, I want you to intuitively understand why a break-even price makes sense for given option strategies, as opposed to just memorizing a formula and then relying on that formula into the future. In most cases, it's really easy to understand and calculate the break-even price, but as we'll see in the last example, it can be quite complex and a little bit more confusing to understand, but the general concepts will remain true throughout every single example. Before we get started, if you are a returning subscriber, if you could hit that like button down below, I would greatly appreciate it, as it would help support and grow the channel so that more people can get access to this information. And if you've never seen me before, please consider checking out some of my other videos on the channel, as I'm sure there's something that you might enjoy and could learn from. So to start off our break-even price journey today, let's start off with the most basic trades, which are trading call options and trading put options as standalone positions. When you're trading call options, it doesn't matter whether you are buying the call option or if you are shorting the call option as an opening trade, the break-even price will be the same. So the break-even price of a call option trade is going to be the call option's strike price plus the entry price of that call option, meaning the price that you pay or receive when you enter that position. If I buy a call option with a strike price of $250 and I pay $12.37 to enter that position, then the break-even price of this call option position is $262.37, which is the strike price plus the entry price. What this break-even price means is that at expiration, if the stock price is at $262.37, then I will not make or lose any money on this call option purchase, and that's because the call option with a strike price of $250 will be worth $12.37 if the stock price is right at $262.37 at the time of the call option's expiration date. The reason this is the break-even price is that at $262.37, the call option with a strike price of $250 will have exactly $12.37 of intrinsic value. And intrinsic value is all that will be remaining at expiration, as all of the extrinsic or time value will have decayed away, leaving only the option's intrinsic value at expiration. Now, if you're not familiar with anything I'm saying right now, then I would advise you to watch my options trading for beginners video, which does have a section on intrinsic and extrinsic value, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below, and there are timestamps in that video so that you can skip to specific sections, which is very helpful as it is a 3-hour video. So if you don't know what intrinsic and extrinsic value are, I would highly recommend checking out that entire video, but if you're pressed for time, you can go ahead and just watch the section on intrinsic and extrinsic value. It works the same exact way if I were to short the $250 call option for $12.37, because at the same exact break-even price of $262.37, at expiration, that call option would be worth $12.37. So it doesn't matter if I'm buying the option or if I'm shorting it, the break-even price is the exact same for that position. Let's switch gears and talk about a put option trade. The formula for a put option trade's break-even price is the put's strike price minus the entry price of your trade. So for example, if I buy a put option with a strike price of $175 and I pay $7.50 for that put option, then my break-even price in this example would be $167.50. And that's because if the stock price is at $167.50 at the time of expiration, then the put option will have $7.50 of intrinsic value, which is all that will be remaining at expiration. And if I buy the put option for $7.50 and it's worth $7.50 at expiration, then I do not have any profits or losses on that trade. Again, this is the same exact break-even price if I were to short that put option for $7.50 as opposed to buying it initially for $7.50. And the reason is because it doesn't matter if you're buying or selling, the break-even price, or the stock price that gives the option intrinsic value equal to your entry price, will be the same. So it doesn't matter if you're buying it or you're shorting it, the break-even price for both of those strategies has the same exact formula. So to get any option position's break-even price, you have to ask yourself, at what stock price will this position have intrinsic value equal to my entry price? And for simple call option trades or put option trades, it is going to be very simple, because you just have to calculate the price where the put option or the call option will have intrinsic value equal to your entry price. And call options have intrinsic value when the stock price is above the strike price, and put options have intrinsic value when the stock price is below the strike price. And that's why in the call option example, we added the entry price to the strike price to get the break-even price. And for the put option example, we actually subtracted the put entry price from its strike price. And that's because that will tell me what stock price will give me an option with intrinsic value equal to my purchase price or sale price. So thus far, the calculations have been pretty straightforward, and I hope you understand the break-even prices of simple call option and put option trades. But we're not done yet, because we have to explore more complex strategies such as the vertical spread, the iron condor, and lastly, and most complicated, is the butterfly. The first of these strategies that we'll look at is the call vertical spread. And if you're not familiar with what a call vertical spread is, it's essentially when you buy a call option at one strike price and simultaneously short another call option at a different strike price. So for example, let's say I buy the 250 strike call option and I short the 260 strike call option at the same exact time, and I'm trading one contract of each of those options. Now let's say I buy this call spread for a total cost of $3.35. So basically, the price that I pay for the 250 call and the amount that I receive for the 260 call comes out to a net entry price of $3.35. In this scenario, what would be my break-even price? And remember the question that I said to ask yourself earlier, which is, at what stock price will this position have intrinsic value equal to my entry price? And in this case, the entry price is $3.35. So at what price will this 250-260 call spread have intrinsic value equal to $3.35? The answer is $253.35. And that's because at expiration, if the stock price is right at $253.35, then the 250 call option will have $3.35 of intrinsic value, and the 260 call will have $0 of intrinsic value, which means that the spread overall will have $3.35 of intrinsic value. And if that's the case, at expiration, my position will be worth the same that I paid for it in the first place, and that will mean that I don't make or lose any money on that position. So let's move on to the next strategy, which is the iron condor, which is a very popular option strategy that consists of trading two vertical spreads at the same time. The most common way to trade an iron condor is to sell the iron condor or short it, and that is done by selling a call spread and selling a put spread, with both of the spreads being out of the money. And the way that you make money on that trade is if the stock price remains in between those spreads as time passes. So for this iron condor, let's say that I short the 110-100 put spread, and at the same time I short the 130-140 call spread, giving me an iron condor position. And let's say that I short this position and I collect $2.50 for selling this iron condor. What will be my break-even prices in this example? Now again, we have to ask ourselves the question, at what stock price will this iron condor have intrinsic value equal to the entry price of $2.50? And in this case, there are actually two break-even prices. The first break-even price will be the short put strike price of 110 minus our entry price of $2.50, which gives us a lower break-even price of $107.50. Now this is the first break-even price because if the stock price is right at $107.50 at expiration, then the 110 put will have $2.50 of intrinsic value, but the 100 put, the 130 call, and the 140 call will all have $0 of intrinsic value, meaning they will expire worthless. And because of that, the overall Iron Condor position will be $2.50. So that's the first break-even price. The second break-even price is the short call strike price of $130 plus the entry price of $2.50, which gives us an upper break-even price of $132.50. Now this is the case because if the stock price is at $132.50 when these options expire, the 130 call will have $2.50 of intrinsic value, while the 140 call, the 110 put, and the 100 put will all expire worthless, meaning they'll have a value of 0, and because of that, the Iron Condor as a whole will be worth $2.50 at expiration. So we've got one more option strategy to discuss, which is the butterfly spread, and this will be the most confusing one to understand by far, but it still illustrates the point that I've been making throughout this entire video. So let's jump into it. Let's say I purchase a butterfly spread where I purchase one of the 125 calls, I short two of the 135 calls, and I purchase one of the 145 call options. So this would leave me with the 125, 135, 145 call butterfly spread. And let's say I buy this call butterfly spread for $4.50. The first break-even price in this example is very straightforward, and it's the strike price of the 125 call plus the entry price of the butterfly spread of $4.50. So this gives us the first break-even price of $129.50. If the stock price is right at $129.50 at the time of expiration, then the 125 call will be worth $4.50 because it'll have $4.50 of intrinsic value. But the 135 calls and the 145 call will all be worthless, and because of that, the total value of the butterfly spread, if the stock price is at $129.50, will be $4.50. So the second break-even price for this call butterfly spread is actually going to be $140.50. So don't feel bad or discouraged if that second break-even price was not obvious to you, because by no means is it an obvious break-even price. And we have to actually dive in a little bit deeper to understand exactly why that is. If the stock price is right at $140.50 at expiration, I own the 125 call option in this butterfly spread. And that means since the stock price is at $140.50, the 125 call option will have $15.50 of intrinsic value. And since I own this option, this is intrinsic value that I own. But with the stock price at $140.50, the short 135 calls that I have, they have $5.50 of intrinsic value each. And since I'm short two of them, we could say that I am short $11 worth of intrinsic value. And the 145 call at expiration will be worthless because with the stock price below that 145 price level, the 145 call option will not have any intrinsic value. So we're left with the 125 call and the 135 call. And now I'm going to introduce something called net intrinsic value, which is the sum of the intrinsic value that I own minus the intrinsic value of the options that I am short. So as I mentioned, with the stock price at $140.50, the 125 call option that I own has $15.50 of intrinsic value. But the 135 call options that I am short, and remember I'm short two of these 135 calls, those options have $5.50 of intrinsic value. And if I multiply that by the two contracts that I'm short, I essentially am short $11 of intrinsic value. So my net intrinsic value in this scenario, with the stock price at $140.50 at the time of expiration, is actually $4.50. So the net intrinsic value in this situation is $4.50. What this means is that since I own the 125 call option, if I want to sell it at expiration or right before expiration, when it is only trading with the $15.50 of intrinsic value, then if I sell that option, I will sell it for $15.50. But I am short the 135 call options. And if I want to close those 135 call options, that have $5.50 of intrinsic value, then I will need to purchase those options to close them. So if I need to buy 2 call options that are worth $5.50 each, then I will need to pay a total of $11 to close those 2 call options. So if I sell the 125 call for $15.50 and I pay $11 to close the 135 calls, then I essentially am only going to receive a net value of $4.50. So that's why I call it net intrinsic value. So this last butterfly example was much more complicated and not as easy to understand as the first examples that we looked at when we were calculating break-even prices, but the same exact concept holds true. So with a butterfly spread, at what stock prices will the position have net intrinsic value equal to my entry price? But remember, the break-even price of any option strategy only really matters at expiration. Before expiration, it doesn't really matter where the stock price is relative to the break-even price, as you could have a profitable or an unprofitable trade in that scenario. So hopefully through this video you've learned how straightforward most break-even price calculations are, but at the end of the day, my main goal for this video was to share with you that the break-even price of any option strategy is equal to the stock price that gives the option position net intrinsic value that is equal to your position's entry price. And that will hold true for no matter what strategy you look at. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave me a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and checking out some of my other videos on the channel, as I'm sure there's some other videos that could benefit you. Once again, my name is Chris, and I will see you in the next video.